We're doing a lot of things in our reforms. This morning we have just announced the formation of the Central Counterparty Clearinghouse in the Saudi market, which is going to be responsible for developing the settlement and clearing practices in the Saudi financial market. It's, I would say, it's an infrastructural setup and requirements by all type of investors, in particular institutional investors. Exciting news about opening up the market. We're hoping for the positive decision by MSCI to continue the positive momentum that the Saudi market has picked up since the beginning of this year, followed by the announcements of FTSE decision and inclusion.
And of course, all of this has to do, I have to say, with the potential listing of Saudi Aramco, first on the local market and then, of course, more broadly. What can you tell us about that?
Well, the Saudi Stock Exchange is as much excited as everybody else with the listing of Aramco. It will change the position of the Saudi capital market overall, not in particular the exchange only, as how do we, the size, the liquidity, the performance. The Saudi Stock Exchange has taken and will continue to take in all necessary measures to welcome a successful IPO by Aramco. We think the regulatory framework today is adequate for such unique IPO, and we're learning from everyone around us on what could be the requirements. We're waiting for the decision by the governments on the allocation, the valuation, as well as the venues, and we'll work accordingly to make this a successful IPO, Tadawul being the home exchange for it.
And in terms of what happens next with the Aramco IPO, can you give us a little of an insight on how, not just what this means for the local market, but of course this is the region's biggest economy, so what kind of value add does that mean for the liquidity situation? Because when I spoke to the finance minister, he was essentially saying with the higher oil prices, we're not going to stop tapping international debt markets, we're not going to stop tapping the local markets, because we really want to get that liquidity into the system in preparation for this.
True. In one sense, Aramco IPO, as per the available numbers announced by the government, it's almost doubling the size of the Saudi market. And that is definitely changing our position as far as size. Now, as far as liquidity, Saudi market has been historically a proven market for liquidity whenever it's needed. So we're trading at around 1.4 million US dollars. We have reached 10 billion US dollars one day. So the capacity of the Saudi market 10 years ago was high. I think the capacity today is even higher by opening up the market. So it will, Aramco IPO will change the dynamics of how the Saudi capital market as well as economy operates.
Hey everybody, it's Hadley Gamble from our new CNBC Middle East Bureau in Abu Dhabi. Thanks for stopping by. Now to watch more, you can try one of the videos that just popped up on your screen. And don't forget to subscribe.